Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Civilization 6 Gathering Storm. We are definitely going to be able to carve through the rest of the Netherlands here. I don't know if we're going to eliminate her necessarily, it's probably not actually necessary to, but we definitely need to push over to her capital and grab whatever. I'm sure she has a port over here, because we have our eyes on things beyond. Also, we have a lot of money here. I'm going to go ahead and just buy a bombard. Is that the right move? Yeah, I'm going to buy a bombard. We're going to sail across the sea, and we're just going to get stuff started with Jayavarman over there. I think we can handle it with just the city-states and that bombard. So we're looking at 285 plus 502, maybe with a little bit more by the time we get there. Each time they build a military unit, the number's going to go up. But that by the time we actually get over there, we should have enough to get those going. So Utrecht is losing loyalty, but it's going to take a long time for it to flip. And we'll be all settled in around here by then. I'm not worried about losing this. They are going to naturally lose Rotterdam in 68 turns. Obviously, that's unacceptably long. We'll get it sorted. We don't necessarily have to attack Rotterdam, but I'm thinking like maybe we come down here and take Tilburg. And then the pressure from this ring of cities will flip these two pretty quickly. Also, once she no longer has Amsterdam, it will no longer be providing loyalty pressure across like that. Yeah, we'll be in control of all of this soon enough. So, oh, what was... Oh, the levy just ended. Well, that's inconvenient. How much would it be to re-levy Kumasi? It's going to be really expensive now, because they built a ton of units since we last levied them. Well, the good news is we don't need them. Bad news is I'm actually in a terrible position here as far as getting my siege weapons in place. Alright, so how do we want to do this then? Need somebody to move across... Guess you should get over here. Provide us a little bit extra movement. Plus 5 combat strength when attacking ranged and siege units. Flanking bonus up. Honestly, none of these are great. The bonus for our Black Army, unfortunately, is going to be difficult to get with all of these units not being levied anymore, because we're surrounded by city-state units. Alright, well, we can siege Amsterdam pretty soon. For now, I guess we just have to keep shooting at it. Alright, those guys are on their way down. They'll be here soon. Yeah, we probably are just not going to be able to... what do you call it? We're not going to be able to re-levy. So we'll bring the Caravel over here. He can help with at least the conquering of Mahendraparvata. I guess, actually, that is all he will be able to help with. But yeah, when we were fighting the Congo, they had troops that were sort of on the level with ours, and their cities were relatively built up. But the problem they were having was that we are outnumbering them. Here, the opposite problem is being had by the Netherlands. Their troops are their troops are numerous. They had a lot of guys, at least. But they're behind us technologically enough that it's causing them serious problems. Go ahead and power our factory. I'm not too concerned this game about any lack of... I'm not too concerned about our emissions. I'm not going to worry about flood barriers and stuff. I think, honestly, the end of the game's not all that far away. It's probably not going to be this episode or anything, but we are properly snowballing now. It's going to be very, very difficult for anybody to keep us out. And we just keep growing and getting more powerful. Okay, well, it wasn't a formal denunciation, so there's that. Makes it our most successful diplomatic relationship in quite a while. I do not want to give you my coal. Oh, we're certainly not doing that. So we're going to get bad deals from players. Stuff's just going to be tough for us. People don't like us, right? This is the price we pay for the life we have chosen. And it is 100% perfectly fair. Move you over here so that we can try to get the bombard in. Wow. Quite a combat strength advantage that we have there. So obviously Amsterdam is ours very shortly. This is just that huge combat strength bonus. Like what you're seeing here is this musket man has 55 combat strength, 67 with all of our many bonuses. It just does a whole lot of damage against a city of this combat strength. Our black army will not actually get to take the city. Yeah, but he won't take that much damage attempting it either. No, it's fine. We'll just not attack with him. The scout is not really getting anything accomplished. Our spy is here, and it is time for him to try to rob Mansa Musa, I guess. I'm not sure that we have enough time to go for a gain sources operation followed by a siphon funds, because we really are planning to get a move on as far as the war making goes. So where do we want to start? I guess we'll start up here. Oh right, I'm not actually suzerain of Geneva. I can't just take Geneva's armies. Is Amani... Amani is there already, right? She's a couple of promotions away from Puppeteer, though. Yeah, we would need 4 more envoys. We are not close to getting envoys from influence points, but I guess we are getting another governor promotion this turn. And unfortunately, we just have like a huge empire now. A lot of stuff to deal with. Here in Hagwitana, probably ought to have a campus. Probably be a campus in every city. Okay, so the city-state units will still hold our enemies off. I don't really want to make any gold per turn based trades with Mansa Musa because of the fact that he is going to be at war with us soon. Alright, let's try, like... He was cool with 200, right? That'll do. So yeah, as soon as you go to war with somebody, any gold per turn deals they had with you end, but they do not get back money that they just traded to you flat like that. So we have access to the Hussar, and Limitane is probably not super relevant to us anymore, but a reduction in the combat strength penalty from being injured is totally relevant. And I don't think we want to change out any of this other stuff. We're definitely just pushing Amani now. He's providing an important service out there. Let's go ahead and make sure that we are getting our attacks on. We now have the ability to make cores. I don't think we'll core up any of these units. At the moment, it's good for us that they're all separate. Okay, just inherited a whole bunch of wonders and stuff, which is cool. So what's the levy cost here? 285. Very, very affordable. So we've got Amsterdam. We just need to, like I said, push east. We don't necessarily have to take everything from them, although Mount Vesuvius, man, like, that's a pretty freaking good campus right there. Also, they got this whole fancy Machu Picchu thing happening. I mean, we're definitely taking this city at least. Amsterdam is going to need to put its walls back together. How are we going to shoot at our enemies without walls? We should probably have somebody turn around and grab Tilburg, right? Loyalty levels are fluctuating very arbitrarily. But, like, this is really a one-unit job. It should be a single guy should be able to get us Tilburg. Right, we'll link up with our Black Army. Oh, we did just research field cannons. That's exciting. Okay, so now that we have nationalism, what do we want next? We're pretty far off with the next level of government. We don't really need civil engineering very much. I suppose really what we just... Actually, we need civil engineering because we need a governor title. I don't think it matters for any other reason. We have a couple of camp improvements. Yeah, this is reasonable. And we're doing very, very well on era score. I mean, you get a fair number of era score points from taking over enemy capitals. So we now have every capital on our home continent. The rest of the world is probably pretty aware of what's going on at this point. If you can take over the people on your landmass before people get out on the ocean, ooh, major flooding. 6 tiles damaged, 2 population lost. Here in The Hague. Really? He was able to make me promise that based on the fact that I had a single cannon? Alright, gonna build our power plant, and... guess we want to get on land over here. Let's go ahead and levy the city-state units here. We're going to have to do a fair amount of upgrading, so I guess we're a couple of turns out from the declaration yet. Alright, new trade route. We want to send a trade route to Geneva real quick to get that envoy going. Ooh, I could put up an aid request. Yeah, let's do that. I was ravaged by a natural disaster. My city of Utrecht was ravaged by a natural disaster. Who could have seen this coming? Why, I don't know what I was thinking when I built it here. I must be some kind of fool. Alright, so we're just kind of building whatever infrastructure buildings we can make. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't want to overstate things too much here, but we probably have developed, in many ways, we probably have developed as much as we need to. At this point, it's just a matter of taking the power that we have built up and continuing to press it forward. You can see he's faring much better over here with this the city that is a little bit higher combat strength. Wait, really, is that all the moving you can do? No. We could upgrade this Black Army to a Hussar. It might actually be better as a Black Army. Because we're never going to get the combat strength from extra alliances. What is the actual combat strength difference between these two units? Hussar has a base strength of 65, while the Black Army is 47. Okay, never mind. We definitely want to do the Hussar upgrade. The extra combat strength from the Black Army ability is never going to add up to be enough to cover that gap. I guess let's just run all the way in here. So 13 turns on Rotterdam. Tilburg is actually looking like it will flip naturally, but I want to get over here and accelerate that a little bit aggressively. Alright, so we're getting pretty close to the 4th upgrade with some of these units. Very significant. I think we're actually going to secure enough era score for a golden age very shortly. Oh, I can't keep building my university because of that enemy unit. Well, I guess it's repair the granary instead. So it's 2 turns plus what? 5 turns before the next governor title. When we hit that next governor title, we will immediately be able to take over Geneva. But we don't want to wait that long before we start declaring stuff. Wow, no, that's a terrible deal. You can see the fact that they dislike us is having a pretty significant effect on what they're willing to pay. We are the first civilization in the world to generate power. And yeah, that actually almost pushed us to the Golden Age by itself. Alright, let's get a military academy up in the capital. May as well cap this thing out. And yeah, we're still building markets. We're still gaining trade routes and stuff. We are powerful, and we are getting more powerful. Very rapidly. What am I doing? I can see that doesn't go anywhere. The scout needs to get the hell out of here. Also, how is this guy still a normal archer? Just some very bad work being done by the citizens of Brussels. Okay, we have a pretty modern military here, and we're seeing cities with combat strength in the 40s. It seems like there hasn't been a lot of armed conflict on this continent, at least not between players. We did see a conquered city-state, so it's not like it's been all peaceful. But it's been peaceful enough that they are not ready for the thing that's about to happen to them. So you can see right there the difference that is made by this promotion. It's really functionally the only difference between those two units is that promotion. The Hussar up here. I guess I put myself in range to get shot by that. Move the Hussar over here. How about that one? And you, I guess, probably... like, we definitely want to just stay back away from this thing. This encampment. You're good where you are. Alright, that musket man should be able to take Tilburg very, very easily. We have an opportunity to build a shipyard, but it's honestly not a great shipyard. We build Ruhr Valley over a tile that's not really very good. Or we could just start building ships to support our attack on Mansa Musa. Because a lot of his cities are coastal, right? Coastal or near enough. Yeah, let's get a frigate built. What's my niter? Oh, we're bringing in enough that upkeep costs on units aren't really a concern. Yeah, so we definitely just want to keep pushing over to the coast. I think at the end of the turn here, they will vote on my proposal. My guess is that people are going to elect not to offer me aid. I think this should happen. I'm not going to spend on it, though. I put 30 favor in already. Okay. Universal downvotes. Fair enough. And we've circumnavigated the globe. We were not the first ones to do it. But we circumnavigated the globe, so that's pushed us all the way up to Golden Age territory already. I don't... Oh, triangular trade is just straight better than the trade route policy. In fact, it hard obsoleted the trade route policy we were running before. Get out of here. I'm trying to build a university. What's wrong with you? We should probably build a dam here, right? And this river is already dammed, but maybe the dam only protects the tiles. Yeah, I don't know. Why am I allowed to build another dam? Because this dam did belong to this city, didn't it? Ah, this is considered to be a separate river. You can see this is the Karka River, while this is the Zayande River. I guess... Okay, so the Zayanda runs like this. Or rather, down... Or no, that's to the sea. Okay, yeah, so it's running down like this. And this Karka River starts elsewhere and then feeds into it. So we need a dam on this other river as well. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm not putting a tremendous amount of thought into what we're building in a lot of these cities because in a lot of cases it's not so important. Like in a lot of these places it's just important that something is building. But we don't need to be trying to perfectly maximize the amount of payout we're getting from a lot of this stuff. Alright, I think this can be the turn of the declaration. And we'll use a Casus Belli, but again, it doesn't matter, because we know we're going to be... We may as well be generating infinite grievances with everybody. It's always going to be bad. Now this, down here, this Bombard cannot attack and move at the same time because it's not receiving a buff from Great General. It's important to remember. And we can just come over here and start having at this city. We could use these units to do that. I should at least make sure that we can get a good surround over here. And my Caravel has 50 melee strength, so... Okay, I would not quite come out ahead on attack in that city. Not by myself, anyway. Yep, you can see there. That combat strength difference of like 30. Really pretty significant. So it would be best if this cannon didn't get shot by all that stuff again. I'm wondering if the best thing to do here is maybe to have you back off. An extra attack per turn is pretty significant. Interesting that we get the era score for boosting a unit to level 4, even if it's not our unit. I would not have expected that. Pull you back over here so you're not getting shot at by the encampment. That is some amount of damage. Turns out we didn't need to worry about it at all. Okay, so their new capital of Arnheim, sadly for them, does not even have walls. And also it is all the way mountained off from the river. Maybe they don't have a port over here. Alright, well, you just live over here now until we are ready to come and retrieve you. I mean, the way the border stretches out, they may have a city beyond there. He called me up on the phone just to mock me, and for some reason we accepted the call. Alright, there is a tornado outbreak. Okay, a tornado outbreak that is extremely not my problem. We've earned ourselves a great person, Charles Darwin, the great scientist, who loves to be near... Oof. Scout versus anything that you would find in this era is a pretty bad trade-off. Or a pretty bad attack. But yeah, Charles Darwin loves to be near natural wonder tiles. So we're going to see if we can hook him up a little bit on that. How many people do we want to devote to attacking this city? It's not 0. I know that. It looks like these two will probably be sufficient, actually. Make sure we're getting our upgrades in. Yeah, this powerful levies that you upgrade for free thing is just super powerful. So we'll get that city sieged up in just a moment. You just sit here and watch the port. Certainly don't want them, like, running bombardment ships out. Okay, so we're going to get in the water in a second here. Just, like, completely obliterate the city. Okay, and this is their port. They just built a harbor on the other side of the mountains. So, they still exist for the moment. But that's actually going to change pretty quickly here, huh? And we're gonna completely take them over through pressure from here. There's not really much sense in building a watermill. We can actually use some builders. We can also use some traders. We're 3 turns away from our governor title, so we could probably afford to buy some stuff. Right, let's buy a trader here, and then start working on a builder. And we need, actually, like, to run a whole lot more traders. Trying to figure out, like, where are they needed worst. Okay, here we could use one. Maybe that ought to be the last one, though. Yeah, I think we're set militarily here. So I guess let's just head toward the ocean. How much time do I have left on these borrowed units? Oh, a ton, actually. Yeah, we can definitely take their money. So Charles Darwin needs to be popped on or adjacent to a natural wonder tile. We found... Yes, down here we found a 4-tile natural wonder that would be a great fit for him, actually. So let's run him over in that direction. I did, in fact, break a pledge. To be fair, I did announce when we made it that I was going to break it. I feel like that should take some of the diplomatic sting out. Everybody at this point should know better than to trust me. Oh, yeah, remember this one? Totally forgot about this guy. Alright, so we're just going to head across to Mansa Musa. Oh, my poor scout. Who could have foreseen this? Wait, really? You just can't attack? What is going on here? Okay, there we go. The city does not have a lot of wall health left. I think I'm going to throw an attack in. Trying to make sure that even if they attack our bombard, we're still going to be able to get the walls down next turn. And here... Yeah, 67 combat strength versus 42. Apparently not quite there. Alright, so we'll get that next turn. We will send some of the troops down from this city to claim the port. And I think we do want Geneva's troops over any of the other city-states in the area, just because as a science city-state that we know has a large levy cost, I'm expecting either a very large army or a very technologically advanced army, or potentially both. And of course, by very technologically advanced, I mean, I'm speaking relative here. Certainly not going to be like giant robots or anything. And, somewhat sadly, I think probably we're not going to get to the part of the game where we are talking about giant robots. Let's see, we're going to get Rotterdam. This city seems to actually be holding. But I think at this point I'd be willing to just take peace. We'll get Rotterdam the old-fashioned way. I don't want to have to deal with this stuff anymore. So you will give me... Interesting, she has no gold per turn to trade. I do not want you to increase 1 point at a time. How about 50? 30? Wow, she's really not into trading off a lot of her favor. Okay. 20 it is. Also... Yeah, I don't actually have anything else to ask her for. Turns out, by the time people are done fighting us, they often don't have anything left to give up. Okay, so now that we're no longer at war, I don't actually have to keep a unit back here. You just need to trade with a city that gives 3 industry. I do appreciate how much the AI loves to build the trade route buildings. Nice to take over a city and gain a trade route slot every single time. Oh dear, what happened to Geneva's military? How did it suddenly drop so much? Okay, maybe we want to move Amani? Well, I guess we can do the levy on Geneva as a way of gaining envoys with them and then move her. We can certainly afford to do it. Was that enough for a level up? No, we've completed every building in our capital's encampment. Just sort of burn in great people points here. Sure, great writer. That was not quite enough XP for the level up. This should do it, though. Alright. We don't need it to hold long, but I do need it to hold longer than that. What is the name of that city? Okay. Probably just, yeah. These are sorted by recency of gaining them, I guess. This will help a little bit with the loyalty pressure. But we are going to have to take some more cities pretty quickly here. "26 turns to repair that campus, huh?" I don't. Let's get some stuff in the queue. Repair all of these. No. Repair all of these different things. Then build me a stable. Be using the queue more often to avoid having to click around to so many cities each turn. I mean, we just go straight for this place, right? Doesn't even have walls to keep us out. Alright, this guy's headed over to Mansa Musa's territory. And it's only going to take a musketman or two to get us Timbuktu. And from there, we can kind of figure it out. Apparently, one of my bombards is going to show up really late. Make that 2. It is a little bit of a shame that there are no city-states over on the west side of the continent for us to grab. Definitely get your monument back, and then... yeah, and then walls. This city just never even had a monument. Wow, he still has normal warriors. I have to say that I am somewhat surprised by that. You don't realize that we are supposed to be the preeminent builders of wonders? Listen, if it makes you feel any better, I didn't build almost any of them. I cannot promise anything. So he caught our spy, which is a shame. He caught and jailed our spy. It's not a big shame. Like, we'll definitely be okay. We do have some repairs to do in the capital and stuff. Or, not in the capital, in Utrecht. We'll go ahead and run the bonus build charges on builders for now. Okay, Geneva has declared war on the Khmer, and also its troops have been levied. So now we actually have 4 envoys here, right? Assuming she is doubling her own 2. If we moved her out, we would have 4 envoys here. So we could do that. We could grab Yerevan. Ooh, Yerevan actually has a siege unit. We don't have to put much in there. Yeah, I kind of want to move her over to Yerevan. You'd have to get to 7... assuming she is doubling her own 2 envoys, those plus the 2 we have on us now would take us to 8. We would be able to get that. We would not be able to hold on to Geneva. But I mean, we already levied. Well, hold on. I wanna remain suzerain of Geneva for another moment here. All right, we got ourselves a Joan of Arc. We should probably dam the river. That's definitely a thing worth doing. Okay, we gained Vision of Oil, but it looks like we did not get lucky enough this time to have already built stuff on top of oil. So we're actually going to have to send a builder out there to get it. And I think from here, steel and replaceable parts both make a lot of sense. Remember, once we have steel, we'll no longer need to build walls in cities. We just have immediate urban defenses, which is a pretty big deal. We're definitely going to pop our new leader over to this city so that she can participate in all this stuff. Observations upon experimental philosophy. Wow, Margaret Cavendish is sort of working in a very different direction than the rest of our empire. I don't think Mansa Musa has any idea what's about to hit him. And I really do think we're going to be able to roll across this continent, like, shockingly quickly. Okay, at this point we can come and start caravelling them. We don't need to take all the cities. I do want this major, powerful port, but really all we have to get off of him is Angkor Thom, and then we can, from there, just push through into Brazil. Rio de Janeiro is not that far from Angkor Thom. Yanni is not that far from the coast, and then it's just a matter of figuring out where the capital of the Ottoman Empire is. And we should not assume that every opposing empire will be far enough behind on tech for us to take them so easily. We don't know what's going on with Suleiman. It's worth remembering that he might throw a little wrench into our plans, but by the time we're fighting him, we're going to be almost done with everybody else, so we will be able to focus our full powers on him. Probably does not bode that well for his chances. He has a quadrireme. That'll do. Now he's going to be like, hey, it kind of looks like you're massing troops near my border. Do we need to talk about something? And we are, of course, going to reassure him. Let's make sure that we are not spending a lot of time adjacent to... I guess this city doesn't need to be working on walls anymore, does it? Yeah, build a monument instead for the loyalty. Go ahead and repair the granary, and then... It's a shame you can't queue like library and university, because I would definitely like to do that. And in fact, that's probably a very common use case. Yeah, we're going to need the granary here before too long. And now that we have civil engineering and our very important governor title, what is next? Mass media is not super relevant. Scorched Earth isn't bad. And actually, you know what? I'm going to grab Opera and Ballet and then Scorched Earth just for the big boost of envoys. So where did we find oil? Right outside The Hague. Over here. Oh, there is in fact oil underneath. Yeah, underneath this. Unfortunately, we cannot yet gather oil from the water, remember. It's a different tech. Okay, so the one outside The Hague is the only one that we actually can get right now. Do I want to just buy a scout? I already levied the military of this city-state. Or not a scout, a builder. Yeah, I think we do, in fact, want to just purchase a builder here. We certainly have the money. Alright, and our spy was imprisoned, and I feel, you know, honestly, not that much about it. I feel like that's fine, basically. No, I'm not really into making deals at this point. I think we're going to find that people are somewhat unwilling to keep their deals with us. This doesn't matter at all. Plus 100% production toward buildings in this district. What would be a good one for us? It's probably, honestly, still the campus. And we could put in, like... We could put in 100 favor worth of votes. That'll get us above almost everybody. I guess we'll put in 150, so we can outvote any individual player. If they want to gang up to beat us, then they can do that. And this extremely doesn't matter. I'll choose myself. Okay. Not going to bother spending any actual favor on that. Our troops are merely passing by. That's what I've told everybody, and it's always been true, so... okay. Everybody just put in a single vote for themselves, and we won the tiebreaker. That's very unfortunate for everybody else. We are... Actually, a watermill's quite good here. Right, I gotta remember to use the Q. Build me an armory for the extra industry. And actually, you know what? The next thing I want is a military academy, so we can't actually do that up just yet. I think next turn... Oh no, it looks like we can actually get started right now. Okay, Mansa Musa, guess what? I'm declaring a colonial war because you are 2 technology eras behind us. For some reason, declaring a colonial war is the thing the rest of the world looks at and goes, yeah, that's okay. That's less bad than many other kinds of wars. I guess I'm judging with the benefit of hindsight is something of an excuse. Alright, well that'll be my port to work with, presently. Oh, that's right, this is the, that's the field cannon that double attacks. We actually could have taken the city this turn if I had done those moves in the right order. Who is this? This is a warrior that we levied from Geneva. He's just so far away from everything that's happening right now. Okay, the Bombard definitely could use a little bit more health, but I'm not sure how much I want to delay the push here. Because if I move the Bombard in, it's definitely going to get attacked. You know what? We'll just move here and we'll pillage it next turn. That's how we'll handle that. Alright, this is my powerful port city. And we're managing to produce enough loyalty pressure. The city having 12 citizens in it is helpful. Yeah, we should be able to hold all this stuff, I think. Alright, you guys are all good. It would be nice to get a good surround on the city, but it might be a little awkward with this encampment right here. Actually, that's a remarkable amount of damage. I was about to go, take that, city walls. But it turns out, actually, that was a reasonable attack. So here's the thing that's tricky about using city-state units all the time. We're levying city-state units and finding, like, normal warriors among them at this point in the game. That definitely shouldn't be that way. Okay, so I don't want to pull Amani out of here until after these troops have cleared their lands. It looks like we are maybe actually going to lead to Jayavarman ceasing to exist, like, due to loyalty pressure. He's going to have a hard time holding on to just these cities. You have a lot of very important work to do. So this is a pretty terrible harbor. The shipyard is going to do basically nothing here. Getting pretty close to steel. I don't know if I want to build an armory, if I just want to build some troops. I guess it takes so long to build troops that that's not really even an option. Let's start by repairing the damaged buildings. We have a fair amount of farms. Okay, we have 1 rice. We can throw that in the queue as well. Yeah, once we have steel, that's going to be pretty unfortunate for anyone that we are invading. It's going to be so much harder for them to take their cities back. So many notifications, and there are so many types of notifications in Civ that don't clear on end of turn. That, like, really should. Every once in a while, you gotta wipe them out. Interesting, they bought a unit and it wasn't military. Alright, so we'll pillage that. Really, can you not move across? Okay. So if we stand somebody here, they'll be able to block the zonal control on both of these, and that will get us control, or that will get us siege on the city. Now, I guess let's just try to gain some XP by shooting at these very, very old walls. Like, massively out of date. Trigger the Eureka moment for a random tech from the modern era, and workshops provide culture. That's not a great person, but it'll do. At this point, I don't know how beneficial it is for us to turn down any great person. Well, obviously, that's not gonna... Why did you think you could just move a ranged unit adjacent to one of my musketmen? That seems like a very bad strategy. One thing that I think is kind of strange about the way Civ calculates movement, is like if I move a unit to a space that is on the edge of its territory, or the edge of its movable space, you can probably just assume that that was where I was trying to finish my move. Like, just go ahead and jump to the next unit. I will come back if there was something else I needed to do. Proselytizers are not welcome among my people. Boy, I think you might have dialed the wrong number. Listen, if it is God's will that your people believe in our ways, who am I to stop it? I don't even know what he's talking about right now. Alright, so we need to make sure that we capture another city soon, so we can get our loyalty under control a little bit. Shouldn't be too hard. I think we'll maybe just go straight to the capital from here. It might be better if we grab this and then the capital, just for loyalty purposes. Very, very slowly making it out to sea. Alright, our knowledge of combustion has advanced considerably, and we have some extra culture now, which is totally fine. Kind of unexciting, but totally fine. Over here, I guess a monument? Actually, can we just purchase a monument? Because I could use the loyalty. Then we probably don't need to keep Victor over on this side. I guess he's providing some actual benefit here for the moment, which is a little unusual. Are we cool on loyalty without him? Yes, we totally are. Okay. Yeah, let's move him. We can, at the very least, slow down the progress of losing Timbuktu. And it may well be the case that, like, 1 or 2 turns is the difference between losing it and keeping it. So, how many envoys do we want to send to Geneva? I guess let's move Amani now. We'll reassign her to Yerevan. And then we will just reclaim suzerainship of Geneva. Interesting. It spawned a bunch of new units. I know, because I lost suzerainship, I did in fact lose control of those units, I guess. That's weird. I thought it had not worked that way in the past. So we'd have to re-levy them. Well, actually, that's interesting, because that allows us to place a bunch more, that allows us to place a couple of free envoys by reclaiming Geneva. Actually, kind of a useful exploit that you could run there. Alright, so what new policies do we have access to? Symphonies. Nope, don't think we're going to be using that. Wow, that's a terrible deal. That said, I'm getting literally no benefit from them right now, so I guess we'll take your truly horrible deal. The troops are merely passing by, and this time, I actually kind of mean it. For the moment, they're passing by. Later, they will be doing other things. Okay, all of a sudden, I don't have the option of firing. Hold on, let's move you over. There we go. So we can get this down entirely through ranged attacks, although I should probably take this. Yeah, his cities are just too far behind on combat strength. Our units aren't that much more advanced than the combat strength of his cities, but we have so many bonuses to our combat strength that I think he's going to be very hard-pressed to hold out. I guess a bank? This is just like... It's just sort of make stuff. Put in whatever might help us. We don't need to think too hard about the small, specific individual decisions, because each one of them is a smaller portion of our empire than in a normal game. Do we want to press on Angkor Thom right now? No, I think we want to wait a turn. Okay, that's not looking too bad. I think we should probably grab Todeni. We see some pikes here, so he's not quite as far behind the times as some of our opponents have been. We can go ahead and purchase an upgrade to field cannon for this unit. We have to actually pay for it because it's really one of my units, which is a shame. Wow. That was a complete one-shot. And then we also get to shoot at the city. Okay, well, there goes there goes that city. That was remarkably fast. Now, he does have caravels, so we have to be a little bit cautious. Uh-oh, there's a barbarian encampment right there. Well, it looks like Suleiman has it under control, actually. Okay, we have a lot of tiles to fix up around here. And Angkor Wat should probably just get its monument up. Somehow this city is falling 17? Those numbers don't add up to negative 17. Okay, it's probably fine. It's just not actually calculating the values correctly. Sometimes it takes a turn after a change for the change to actually propagate, like the actual mechanical change to propagate into the numbers that it's showing you. That's been a Civ problem in every Civ game I've ever played, that like sometimes numbers are just wrong until the beginning of the next turn. Oh, this is a hill tile, isn't it? Oh no, it's just wooded. That's a hill tile. So actually, okay, we have to move all the way up to here to get a clean shot with the bombard. Fortunately, it is quite a shot once we actually get it. Yeah, we're gonna have to run over next to this volcano to actually blockade the city. Although maybe it doesn't matter that much. This is not one of those situations where I think it's worthwhile to just slam the melee units against the walls right away. Give that a moment. So you can heal up as well. So we are going to lose some of these levied units pretty soon, I think, but we've really established a pretty strong foothold. Okay, I see they're going to try to take the city back, which would be annoying for us. I don't think we're, like, hugely in danger of it Especially not with them now only having one ship. And then on our next turn, the barriers for steel go up. So we can start building actual like armies and corps, just straight building them now. That's probably a thing that is worth doing. Well, you know what? We're so far from the front over here, I'm not sure that it is. Build me a whole bunch of traders. Here we can queue up, like we know we're going to want an art museum and a bank. And I guess the move here is to get onto one of his farms and pillage it. Okay, so what we really want to do is be on one of these two tiles so that we get the whole 2,000 science. It looks like that might be a little bit awkward to do, given how much fighting is going on in that natural wonder. Alright, so that has to be repaired by the city. I can't really do anything about that. We can build a mine here, though. Okay, Rotterdam becomes a free city in 2 turns, and it'll flip over to us shortly afterward. Yeah, we just have to establish a dense enough network of our citizens here to be able to project some real loyalty pressure. I guess it sort of doesn't matter what we build here beyond that. Okay, somebody declared war on me. It was Brazil. A joint formal war. Okay, so we're now at war with this continent. I honestly don't think that's going to matter very much. Okay, so do we want to levy Geneva again? I do. I have to actually have the money to do so, which means I gotta stop buying frivolous things. This is not the optimal order of building here. I just want to have cities pushing forward without constantly asking for orders. Yeah, you know what? Try to build me a Bolshoi theater. Why not? Okay, down here we have some pretty important stuff to get done, like all of the basic buildings. How does it let you queue the same building multiple times? And I mean, we don't have a great place for a campus here, but that's alright. And like, we do definitely want to build that campus. This city will flip in 14 turns. And I mean, neither one of those, like, actually matters all that much. We'll just have all of the new guys, new traders run out of that city to help it establish a little bit. Oh, hey, that's like our hurricane. Our bombard was almost killed. Yeah, actually, that sucks a lot. You can see now the barriers from steel are up. A Barbary Corsair. That is definitely a Suleiman unique unit. I am not familiar with that guy. Let's knock out a couple of these. Oh, turns out I actually don't have the ability to shoot that guy. Upgrade to proper artillery. So this frigate has the ability to shoot inland. We're going to upgrade to proper artillery. I probably want to do it over here. Although, actually, Ana Nzinga is boosting Renaissance and Industrial era units. And that is a Modern era unit. So the combat strength bonus is significant, right? We go from 43 with a 55 bombard strength to 60 and 80. But one thing that's important to remember is that it's not just a combat strength buff we lose, but the extra point of movement, which is what allows us to move and fire in the same turn. We definitely still want to take the upgrade, I think, but it is... Oh, right, I do have to be in my territory to take the upgrade. It is a little bit less clear-cut than it looks. Okay, the best they're going to be able to do is attacking us with pikes, which is... Honestly, like, the bonus for being a spearman against a horseman is pretty significant. You can see here, even though that unit is many eras behind us, it's still pretty good at fighting horses. There's no two ways about that. That said, I'm still willing to take the trade. Okay, well that's inconvenient. That caravel is definitely going to kill somebody. Don't think we're going to get the walls down this attack. Okay, there we go. Now we got a proper siege going. Actually, I think if I smash all of these guys against it... There we go. Okay. We will definitely have another capital on this coming turn. This is very inconvenient. That all of a sudden those guys declared war on me. The ancient walls provide no benefit at all, so I guess just, like, build a market? You can repair your market. And with access to artillery, our next move is to grab infantry, and then after that, tanks. Probably. Yeah, I don't know. Let's get infantry now, and we'll figure out the rest of it later. Yes, the combat strength bonus is just too great for them to overcome. Or the combat strength differential is just too large for them to overcome. Yeah, that's a shame. We're losing like perfectly good units here to these navies. It was a really good move for him to declare war on us. Or for the rest of the continent to declare war on us. It is absolutely the right thing to do. It's just too late to matter, unfortunately. We could change some stuff up. I just honestly don't care, I think. We're sort of in the final push. It's going to be a pretty sustained push, but we are basically running toward the end right now. Yeah, let's just finish grabbing this. Certainly keep the city. Like literally can't not keep the city. So build me a monument, and then, I don't know, man. The Potala Palace? Just to get something in the queue that's going to provide us a benefit while also taking a while to build. Okay, that should keep that city busy and productive for a while. We're not going to have any city growth going on for a bit. I guess just build that. At this point, levying Yerevan's military definitely has some value. We do not have the envoys to recapture this. Yeah, we're just going to stick to the plan. Run our envoys into Yerevan to make sure we can get control of it. Okay, what needs to be improved next? The Hague is not actually at the housing cap. Any of the housing caps. So Cahokia Mounds are not a super high priority. I guess like we have a bunch of like really basic stuff to build over here. You guys gonna give us a governor title and 500 gold. I don't know that we need a governor title for Victor. Or any of these people. You know, Emissary might actually be... No, Emissary is definitely not going to be relevant. I suppose we could just put together a... or start running another governor. Let's put Magnus out. I think I want to put him like somewhere over here. My thinking on that is just that I would like it if we could run trade routes on this continent. And he, I mean, it's going to be another governor title before he's really boosting that very much, but honestly, I don't know that any of the other things we could have done with a governor title would have been meaningful. So I think we can probably take this city and then just peace out of the war. I should do this. I'm having trouble building up the kind of money that I would like to have. You can see cities are, I think they're slowly climbing in combat strength. Too slowly. So I don't even have to go through the trouble of declaring war. Like, we'll just be able to wander in here. Jaya Varman might get removed from the game without our hand being directly involved, which I'm fine with. Actually, yeah, I'm not going to wait for it to flip naturally. That's going to take too long. Okay, once again, if I'd run these in a different order, we totally could have conquered that this turn. You're seeing how much it matters, though. Like, we're so far ahead, it's somewhat irrelevant. Our great generals are becoming less useful, though. Yeah, at some point in the near future, we're going to have to just scrap them. Alright, I think we're cool to move our units over to attack the city rather than just standing back and fighting the Navy. Now that we have steel, the natural urban defenses are going to keep things pretty safe. So we do still have kind of a loyalty problem here. Taking Niani would certainly help, but we're not going to be able to do that next turn. I'm going to try to sail around the north... Man, they have ships up here too. Okay, it looks to me like we might be more successful getting Charles Darwin in from the bottom of that. We'll just go ahead and queue all this stuff up. So our next most useful civic is... Honestly, we might be done. I suppose moving up to lightning warfare is good. Tanks are powerful. We haven't really had too much of an opportunity to play with that kind of stuff. Let's do one more turn. Basically what I want to do is close out the war with Jaya Varman. Well, Mansa Musa is fighting back. You're going to give me this city too. Okay. Cool. He's actually totally willing to do that. He's giving me all 3 copies of salt. Yes. Alright. This is a fine deal. A mitigated 1,000-year flood that just adds resources to 3 tiles. Pretty good. A feat of engineering. Now our battleship wields it as a weapon for the first time in the world. Sorry, do I have a battleship? Where? What? Why do I have a battleship? Wow, also, Yeah, look at how good all of the tiles around all of the, like, volcanoes and stuff have been. Turning up the disaster difficulty has definitely had an effect there. Okay, let's get those built. Get ourselves an artist. We have art museums, right? Yeah, we'll have somewhere to build that. Oxford University would have to overwrite a farm. What does this do? 3 governor promotions. Cities on your non-home continent with a governor gain stats. Yeah, sure. We have a very large and very impressive empire, and it sort of doesn't matter what we do with large portions of it anymore. Oh, I was building, yeah, that's right, I was building a frigate over here, and then we moved beyond frigates. Okay, well, a battleship has 3 natural attack range and very, very high strength values. And apparently is not capable of one-shotting a couple of caravels. That's weird. You would think that that would not be terribly difficult. Oh, the Free City units. Yep, they will join up in 8 turns. Okay, I am content to just wait on that. We don't need to attack them directly. We have 3 builds left. I'm going to build a farm right here. So you can see our culture output is climbing rapidly. We're doing pretty well. Oof, we're doing pretty well in a bunch of different ways here. I am a little worried about all of these ships. It is more difficult to get our dudes across the water safely than I thought it was going to be. But we're about to have the weakest campus of all time. Yeah, okay. I guess that'll do. +1 science is going to have to be good enough. This guy definitely just needs to heal up. Doesn't really have a lot of options. It is a little frustrating that he has so many spears. Maybe step up here and just finish that guy off. So we need to have somebody standing right here to complete the blockade. Well, that's very inconvenient. Can't quite get into firing range. Alright, this is the guy who can fire twice. We have enough of a combat strength boost that even without bombard damage, we're doing pretty good damage to these walls, but when the bombard damage kicks in a moment here, it's going to be really ugly for them. So, we saw Yerevan has a thing. Yeah, let's go ahead and get control of Yerevan. So, 1 more envoy. And then levy. And I mean, we could levy Geneva's as well at this. Yeah, let's just levy Geneva's as well. So we ended up generating a ton of envoys in Geneva very quickly by becoming their suzerain, levying, and then unlevying it, losing suzerainship and then re-levying. I don't know if that's a tactic that's going to be exploitable in very many circumstances, but it certainly was powerful for us. So you're pretty far away from a level up. I'm trying to figure out, like, of these troops, which ones need to actually hold back for a minute and heal, and which ones could just push forward and rely on experience and level ups to get their health back. Wow, that's a catapult. Oh, you lied to me. No, okay. You actually can attack. Yeah, so he's got catapults and archers. Maybe we can just keep rolling forward. It turns out that might be just fine. Yeah, it sucks to have lost the bonus movement from being the same era as the Great General. I think we're going to pass our... We've passed our Golden Age threshold by like 30 points or something. Successful wars are just really, really good for your era score. Okay, I don't think the barbarian units will hassle the Great Scientist, and even if the Great Scientist gets moved on to, he's not going to die like, well, he's not going to die and he's not going to get taken over, he'll just get teleported back to our safest city. I assume they felt like it would be too punishing to have them get stolen, given the way the whole great person point system works. So this is going to end up a free city, and we will just have to take it back. I think I do actually want to hold this. We want this little power base. But after we take Niani, you turn back, you get Taudeni back, and then move to Kingaba. Once we get these 4 cities together, we can probably go for peace with Mansa Musa. I think that'll be everything we need. So, we are currently doing very, very, very well on this domination victory. We have 4 of the 7 capitals we need. Niani is going to fall very, very close to the beginning of the next video. We are still a little ways out from Rio de Janeiro. Fortunately, a lot of the cities around here that belong to Brazil are pretty low population. So actually, if we get Curitiba, or Curitiba maybe, and Rio, they'll probably be able to just hold each other, loyalty-wise. So we don't need to like take any detours on this one. I think we can just push straight through. Rio at least has a reasonable combat strength, but this city we're going to take very quickly at the beginning of the next episode as well. And it really is, it's just Niani, Rio, and then a city that is somewhere in here. And since we don't have a very large area to search in, I'm confident that we will find it and execute on it quickly. So that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time for, I think, maybe the end of this game. And we'll see you then.